Well, how you doing? It's me, the Earthling. You may call me Gerald if you like, that being my name. But I just wanted to point out a few things. It seems like the people of the theists, the theists, the people that believe in gods and demons and all that other, magical stuff and fairies and fantasy and all that. Uh, However, they don't call it that, but we who are atheists, we know that you're all born atheists. So whatever someone knows in that regard, whatever they do in that regard, however they worship in that regard, however they put themselves forth in that regard, is all something that was indoctrinated by their parents and other relatives and being dragged to church, maybe the priest giving it to them, telling them that I promise I'll stop if you believe in God. I don't know, but however they get it, they actually indoctrinate these kids, and then to me that's child abuse. Dragging a kid to church, forcing him to believe in this fantasy crap, the young Earth creationist thing, and that when they go to school and they tell the teacher and the rest of the students about that. I mean, if the students are usually pretty smart, if they're not going to a Christian school, they pretty much get laughed at, because well, young Earth creationism is not something people really go by nowadays unless you live in freaking Texas. So anyway, my actual point was last night I recorded a program called Independent Lens. And what it was a story about how our textbooks are chosen for the rest of the country, of all things. And can you believe that they used the state of Texas and their school board to choose textbooks for basically most of the rest of the country? Yeah, I was flabbergasted when I heard that. So I watched on PBS called Independent Lens. It was on last night. I'm glad I recorded it and watched it this morning because it's got me mixed up crazy. I mean, we've got these people. We talk about the First Amendment, separation of church and state, which reads, the government shall establish no religion, and it shall uh, make no religion of its own thereof, or something. Oh, it shall not. Uh, oh man, I'm getting older, so things aren't really coming to me better as they used to. But basically, what it meant, what it said was that they don't have the right to establish any certain religion. They can't do it. They're not allowed to. Prayers, all that stuff. They're not allowed to do that, supposedly. They're supposedly not supposed to be able to inject a certain religion into. However, our whole Washington D.C., the whole place is full of Christianity. We've got congressional chaplains, Christian. We've got military, divisional and company chaplains, Christian. Every time uh, uh, they say the Lord's Prayer or whatever, they've got this prayer thing that they do every year. They've got the Red Mass they do every year, which is definitely Christian. And now everybody on the Tea Party, they're all Christians, of course. They're freaky about this Jesus. And so now they want Obama to be Christian. And I'd rather he was an atheist. I wish he had the balls to come out and say he's an atheist. He faked out like he had this family Bible when he went to Hawaii or somewhere. He went somewhere and did this his own little inauguration before the actual inauguration on Sunday or whenever it was, Monday or whenever it was. And so he could use his family Bible, I guess. I didn't even know he had one. Nobody even knew what religion he was until he finally decided, well, I better be some kind of religion, or these people are gonna, freak out. They're not gonna dig me. They already, Obama, listen, they are already trying to get rid of you. They did from the moment you got inaugurated the first time, in the first session, first 4 years, they've been trying to get rid of you. So what difference does it make whether you, I mean, come on, you can't really believe that stuff. I mean, really? Have you read the Bible, by the way? President Obama? Have you actually read that fucking book? I mean, my God, it's full of pedophilia, murder, genocide, you name it. It's deep up in that freaking book. I've read it, I know. And then we got things like telling everybody to mutilate their little boys by cutting off a piece of their penis. I'm lucky to be a whole man. And I am not going to have ED, because erectile dysfunction, even though doctors won't admit it and won't bring it forth, they won't even bring it up. Over 90% of ED is caused by a circumcised penis. Because it doesn't have its prepuce, it can't fully erect when it tries, it tugs at the rest of your penis. It's just crazy. It's nuttier than hell, I don't get it. But that's what they do. And the only reason the Jews started it was because they wanted to stop their little boys from masturbating, Well, that'll do it. Except for one thing. I don't have to use, people like me that are whole, we don't ever have to use lotion or anything like it. We've got all of that right there on our prepuce. I'm old. Shit, I'm in my 60s now. I get it up in a minute. And it'll stay there as long as I want it to. And so doctors not trying, to at least do some kind of I've done my own investigation into it. And the investigation that I did, the research I did, was with real men my age who are either circumcised or not. And what it came down to is it wasn't a blood flow thing or testosterone or anything like that. It was the fact that you either had a prepuce still or not. I know that's going a little off the subject, but it's basically the same type of thing. You're heads of the church, you're Jews, you're Christians now, because the Jews talked them into it. I know I'm not being racist, that's what they call themselves. I can't help that. Jew is religion, Hebrew is the race, okay? Or actually Palestinian or Canaanite. Okay, that's the people that used to live there. Most of the ones that are there now are old Europeans, old Russians, old Americans, that have come back after World War II because they're no longer being oppressed in Europe as much as they were. Well, anyway, so they bring circumcision and all their other little bullshit practices. And the point is that even Jewish preachers aren't in America. You don't hear them read parts of the Torah. They don't have a I don't even know what they call sacrifice or whatever. I don't even know what they call going to church in the Jewish circles. It's going to synagogue, I guess. But they don't even show that. And that's just as big. I mean, there wasn't even a Catholic until this year. and he turned out to be one of the pedophiles, one of the guys that was, you know, being sued and everything from all that stuff. And then you got this damn Pope runs around saying things like, uh, because he wants to have more babies and make more little Catholics, he says things like, after rubbers, condoms cause AIDS. You ever heard something so stupid? And in order to get circumcision going, they actually said that if you're not, it'll cause disease and all kinds of crap. And actually, it's the other way around. Because if you are circumcised, it leaves your head, the head of your penis, wide open for all of that urinary tract, all the infections and everything else to go right down your urethra. Trust me, I've done the research. I know the facts. So we're not separated. There's no separation of church and state whatsoever. That's what they do. Their big thing is to actually keep them together, not separate them, because everybody wants to have a Christian nation. And please don't do that to us. That's crazy. And while watching this, the Independent Lens, it's called, this morning, and recorded it last night on PBS, I could not believe that Texas is actually the state that puts together puts together the textbooks for the rest of the country. They're the ones that have all the meetings and decide whether there's going to be creationism or evolution. And they were actually deciding, and they were actually arguing whether evolution was a theory. They kept calling it a theory. It isn't real, and they even mentioned the fact that, well, just because it's supernatural, it doesn't mean it's not true. What? You actually admit you believe in freaking magic? With a magic superhero up in the sky is going to do everything for you? Do it yourself. Take some fucking credit. If you're evil, if you do nasty things, that's you. You did that. You don't have the right to blame it on some demon or devil. Yes, they are two halves of the same fucking coin. You're God and you're devil. He apparently made them up. All of them. And all the crap that's being done. I mean, is it like he has something against the disabled? Does he have something against us? I mean, I've been an amputee for 10 years and still haven't gotten my legs back. And yet I've had Christians freaking praying like crazy over me. There are a lot of other things I got on my mind, but that was the most important. That in order to have a true separation of church and state, we need to do away with all these silly chaplains from every freaking where. That when they do the Lord's Prayer every time before they do something, as if they really think the earth is 6,000 years old. You know damn good and well those senators and representatives, most of them, they don't believe that crap. Come on. Really? And if they do, I'm scared as hell. But I'll tell you what, I'm the kind of guy that if you elect me to anything, I'm right off the bat going to tell them I'm an atheist. And I was born that way. And the only way I became Catholic the first part of my years because my mom made me. Tried to make me go to church. I snuck out, never went. Made me go to school, Catholic school. Boy, you gotta not ask the wrong question. We were told the story in catechism about Jesus coming upon a wedding and turning water into wine. Well, at that time, my dad was a pretty bad alcoholic. So the last thing I wanted to do, last thing I thought this Jesus would want to do, would be to give wine to people. Everybody. I mean, come on. From what my mom said, wine was a poison. And there was no way this son of a God would do that kind of thing. It just doesn't happen. Well, when I raised my hand and asked the question, boom, I was in public school within a month. It goes to show you how scared they are. That they know their whole story is bullshit, and you have to believe in magic in order for it to work. Yeah, because it's magic. Oh, come on. If you believe that there's some superhero out there that created everything in 6 days, then you believe in magic. That's all there is to it. There's more to say, but they only give me so much time, so I'm going to go right now. Glad I was able to make another video. Actually, I put a couple of subjects in there, but you guys know me. I can't help myself. I rattle on, and I lose control. So, we'll see you later. Dearly signing off again, the 29th of January, 2013. Take it easy, everyone. I hope this gets in. I have a problem. This is a tablet. We'll see how this works. Bye now.